What's a podcast? I like your show.
How did I get here? Welcome to the Shipe Sports Show.
Oh, Tiger.
To the right again.
Dumbass.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Shipe Sports Talk Show. It is I, the host, Matthew Shipe, joined in studio always by my co-host and producer, Paul.
How's it going?
How you doing, Paul? Joined via Skype by always, Mr. Brad Cameron.
Hello out there, viewing world. Glad to be on the show, Shipe. Thank you once again.
You're welcome, even though you're on the show every week, but it's good to have you once again.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Joined in studio again by David, the coach, Shipe. How you doing?
Nice, good to be here again.
So the clip you just heard was Tiger Woods once again back on tour, shanking a shot, and once again calling himself a dumbass like he does every Masters. He's good for one dumbass every Masters. Brad will agree with that.
Yeah, he has a couple shots he regrets. I would say year in, year out, the Masters, but that's part of competition, I guess.
That's right. He has a $40,000 to pay for the fine.
Yeah, sure.
For what?
For cursing, you can't curse on national television like that.
Oh, so
ESPN's PG, buddy. This isn't PG-13.
oh, okay. Oh my God. I didn't
Now
even
during
think
the
about
British,
that.
you could probably do it from the hours of 4 to 6, and then after that, you probably can't. All right, well, we're gonna get into the Masters a little bit later, but first we're gonna get right into it. What everyone wants to hear, the NCAA title game that happened on Monday night, and congratulations to the Duke Blue Devils for winning. Brad, you got to do it. Come on, they won. Come on.
I refuse.
Also, congratulations to Justin F. for winning our bracket challenge. He was going head-to-head with Brad and Guillermo on the final game, and he won because of points. So congratulations to Justin. So let's get right into the title game. Brad, first your thoughts on Wisconsin versus the Blue Devils.
Well, stupendous game. You know, both teams were prepared, playing at a very high level. You know, they've already faced each other once this year where Duke did notch them at home against Wisconsin, but both teams have grown significantly since that matchup. It was a low-scoring affair, but, in the end, Duke pulled out the W. And, you got to give Coach K credit and some of the young guns who really pulled themselves together in the NCAA tournament to really elevate them and lift them to this NCAA championship.
One of the really big guys, I think, for Wisconsin that made a difference was probably Decker, because I believe he was injured the first medium round, so they didn't have that option. I believe so. I know he was hurt during the beginning of the year. Was it during the Duke game? Was he not available?
Actually, I think Kaminsky was out.
During Duke?
During the Duke
Well,
game.
we saw that made a huge difference because Okafor had no response to him, it seemed like it. I think
Yeah,
Okafor's draft stock may have actually been hurt by this game, I think.
I would disagree with you in that sense, but I do think Wisconsin did a good job with a big size body, big athletic Kaminsky, able to kind of nullify the attack that Okafor has. Okafor got into some foul trouble, and I think that did play into Wisconsin's game plan, is to try, get him on the bench and get him in foul trouble where he doesn't play as strong and as, I guess, aggressive as he normally does, which really, really helped keep the game close. And, Wisconsin had a 9-point lead at one point and kind of went stale. That was really the X factor. But in terms of how they handled Okafor, got him in foul trouble, got him on the bench, very, very good game plan by Bo Ryan and execution by the players in order to nullify that part of Duke's attack.
Also, Okafor, he better get his stamina up because he looked very winded every time he came out. I mean, he was chugging on the Gatorade. Most players do, but he looked very, didn't seem like NBA ready shape. I mean, he's got the play, but not, I don't think the conditioning ready for NBA shape. And what's someone who I think the star of this game was the player of the year, Kaminsky, and I think his game's going to translate well to the NBA. A lot of these teams, he's really, a lot of the mock drafts have him in the mid rounds, like the 15, 17, 18 range, and I think that's really, it's good for him because he's going to end up on a good team, but I feel like he's better than that. But let's chip on the title game. Coach, what did you feel about the game?
Well, I agree with most everybody. It was a great game to watch. As I thought that at certain points in time, for more than time, that the best team on the court at one time was Wisconsin. They were doing some things that was getting Duke out of their game plan. Comiskey, I thought he did a fantastic job against Okafor. I mean, my thing is he kind of took him to school a few times. You get him out as much as Wisconsin did, and he's sitting on the bench, then you've accomplished what you've set out to do at the beginning of the game. The only thing they didn't account for was the two guards for Duke, who I think pretty much was Allen and Cook, I believe. They kind of took that game over, especially in the second half. I mean, you could see where Allen a few times, I'd say he was not afraid to take it to the hoop. And he showed, good poise, good ball control. So I think congratulations to Duke, but Wisconsin tried to do what they wanted to do, was get Okafor out of there, get him out of his game, keep him under 20 points. But I don't think they really accounted for Allen and Cook coming up as big as they did.
Here's the thing about Allen. Here's a crazy stat for you. During the entire season, he was averaging 4.4 points per game. That's all he was averaging. He got 16 in the title game with just 21 minutes of playing time. He played half the game. He got 16 points after only averaging 4. I mean, and he's a freshman. So, Duke's looks ready for the next season. I mean, all these freshmen were good. They're going to lose Okafor, obviously. But the guards for Duke, I mean, they can just, if they stay, this team is going to be it could be just as dangerous next year, depending on what recruits are coming. But, Coach K is always good for one good recruit every year. Like an Okafor last year, they had Parker. So don't count Duke out just because they lose Okafor, because they're going to get someone else in here. But it was a great title game. I mean, tied at halftime. I mean, what more could you ask for? And, the call at the end that was questionable, the out-of-bounds call, you know what? You can question that call, but you can also question the foul call during the Wisconsin-Kentucky game. I mean, my theory is the refs may make a bad call, but don't let the refs impact your game. They lost it down the stretch. That one call isn't going to make a 9-point difference.
What was the call? Did they get it wrong, or
they got it wrong?
Yeah.
It went out on the Duke player, and they said it was on Wisconsin. So, I mean,
okay.
But you can't let a call affect you. I mean, that call is not going to change the game. I mean, it may shift directions one way or another, but you can't let that affect you. You can't say it's the ref's fault. Just like in the NFL during the Des Bryant, all that stuff. You can't let the call, make the outcome of the game. You take it, go back down. You've been stopping them all game. Just stop them again. But, stuff happens, and Duke came out winner. So congratulations to Duke. And Brad, I don't know if you noticed. Did you see the early top 25 for next year? Did you see where Maryland's at?
That I did, my friend, and yes, I did as well.
Maryland, 5 in the nation. And I can tell you it's all because of Diamond Stone and Melo Trimble and Layman.
Well, Layman, but also we have another shooting guard who's climbing the ranks. We had a shooting guard that committed to us early, and now he's climbed to 53rd in the nation. So that's 2 top 100 players Maryland has come to the roster. 1 top 10, obviously, in Diamond Stone, exceptional talent, but also a 53rd ranked player in high school coming to the University of Maryland. So next year, Maryland pulling in some more talent. So it should be really, really exciting. Maryland should have some depth coming off the bench, and I'm really looking forward to what they can produce.
Are they losing a lot of people?
I think really the only impact player they're losing is Des Wells is really the true only impact player they're losing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get rid of Wells. Well, you don't get rid of he graduates, and you almost bring in Diamond Stone. There's almost your replacement. You still have, God, I know the center. He's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember his name. Who was the other guy who played center this year, Brad?
Was it DeMonte Dodd? Is that
Dodd. You still got. You're gonna have Dodd and Stone. You're gonna have Layman probably playing. The shooting forward. You got Trimble. I mean, they're going to be loaded next year. And funny thing is, they're ranked 5 in the nation, and they're 37th in recruiting this year. And who do you think's number 1 in recruiting again?
Well,
Kentucky.
You have to get to Kentucky. Yeah, sure.
What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
What?
Number one in recruiting.
It means they recruited the top players in the nation. They got like the most 100s or stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha.
Like they only have three commitments, but they're all top 100 players. Like Washington and Oregon State all have sits, but they're probably not top 100 players. They're probably outside of that.
Right on. Okay.
But hopefully, next year. I mean, they got Virginia ranked 1 with North Carolina also up there. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting next year. I mean, Kentucky's graduating 7 players. Not graduating, they're going to the draft. Look for them to set a record for the draft because the most pits by one school is sits, and they have 7 going, and all 7 could very well be drafted. So, look for that record to be broken in the draft. So, we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, very likely.
I mean, that's pretty much all the talk that we had for the title game. I mean, congratulations, Duke. Congratulations to Justin for winning. And next year, look forward to another tournament. I'll look forward to my bracket. Hopefully, I won't be done by the second round. I'd like to make it to the final day like my 2 co-hosts. I look like the worst. I'm the worst co-host at the NCAA tournament. I'm the only one who didn't have a chance to win. God, that's awful.
Did you hear about that 16-year-old kid who won the...
You mean 12?
ESPN.
was he 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
This 12-year-old kid won the bracket challenge on ESPN, and they won't pay him the $20,000 or the trip to Maui because he's not 18.
Yeah.
Which, okay, rules are rules, but give the kid something.
Yeah.
I mean, he won. I mean, even if you don't give him the 20 grand straight up, put it like in a trust fund, a scholarship, or I think that kid deserves something. I'm pissed he kicked my ass.
That's crazy.
And you know the funny thing? I think all the people that are complaining about him getting it are probably the people who were also in the top 1% because he didn't have the perfect bracket, but he was in the top 1%, and they draw you randomly from the top 1%, and he happened to be the one drawn. Right. So, I mean, I can see it from the people also in the 1% like, well, crap, this kid cheated. Now we're out of a chance to go to Maui. But, hey, give the kid props. He's 12, 13 years old, and he picked the right thing. So, kudos to him.
So nobody ended up winning it then?
Nope. ESPN got to keep their $20,000 like they need it.
Ah.
Give the kid a trust fund. Give him something to put in his bank account or something. Okay, yeah. You know what, Guillermo? Yes, I do suck at picking brackets, okay? Let me put this out real quick. Guillermo has not been taken off the show. I did not fire him. He recently got a promotion for his job, which requires him to stay longer on Thursday. So, yes, he's still part of the show. He's in the chat rooms. He still makes Facebook posts. He just can't join us in studio anymore because of work. So, no, he was not fired. Anyone who thought that, he's still unemployed. He's still employed by Shipe Sports Talk. So, don't worry. Any Guillermo fans out there, he will be back. Sooner, later, whatever.
I haven't signed any paperwork, Shipe. What kind of employment are we
You
talking
signed it the day you got on Skype.
It's in the fine print. It's in the terms and conditions.
All right, we're going to where the real reason we're here today, and I'm pretty sure like half the viewers are ready to go zip down because a lot of them don't like golf. But the Masters, yep, Brad's holding up the logo right now. I got my golf shirt on. The coach got his golf shirt on. Oh, hey, there we go.
Yeah, nice.
Quiet, please. Quiet on the tee bots. Go to Brad. Brad with his little pin.
Oh, sorry. Here comes Brad.
And there's Brad with his little Masters pin.
Nice. Augusta, Georgia.
So the first round was today. We'll go over the leaderboard real quick. We got Jordan Spieth, who's right now in the clubhouse, 8 under, in the lead by 3. We got Hoffman at 5 under, Rose, Els, Jason Day, all 5 under. Listening to a sports show this morning, the guy, he's tied for 3rd, but Henley was a little sleeper pick by a lot of people. He's 4 under along with Sergio, Haas, and we have a whole bunch of other people under. The man everyone's probably going to be asking about, Tiger Woods, is 1 over. As you heard the clip beforehand, he called himself a dumbass because his putter, actually his short game has not been bad today. It's his drives that have sucked. Tiger's short game is actually doing pretty good, but his drives have been kind of look like what I do sometimes when I play. Going a little bit left and right. But Tiger Woods is still 1 over, and he's going to have to, shoot probably in the 60s tomorrow to make this cut. If Jordan Spieth keeps this up, the cut line may be -3 the way this kid's playing. For a lot of you don't know, Spieth was probably younger than me. I think he's 21 or 22? 21 years old, and look how he's playing. God, that kid's got all the talent in the world, and he's probably someone that's not going to go away. So first off, right now, we're going to talk about, since I just went over the leaderboard, we're going to talk about who we think will still be there come Sunday and who won't. I'll start off. I think Spieth will be there on Sunday in the final group, either final group or second to final group. Hoffman, he's playing good lately, but this is the first time he's actually probably competitive at the Masters. I think he may fade. I feel Rose will still be there, Els, I see fading a little bit. I mean, Els is a great golfer, but when you go up there in age, those 4 days start taking a toll on your body. We see that a lot with Mickelson now, who is very competitive the first 2-3 days, but once that fourth day comes around, he has arthritis. He's starting to break down. I think Garcia will be there around Sunday. Jason Day. A lot of these people, the leaderboard, are still going to be there. Patrick Reed, one of Brad's picks for his little fantasy thing. Hopefully he stays around for Brad's sake. Brad, I'm rooting for you, buddy. I hope he comes in second. I hope Spieth wins and he finishes second for you.
Thank you, Shipe.
So that's who I think is going to stay around. So far, the player of the year who's been playing the player, Jimmy Walker, did not have a very good round. Stinson, I don't think he did as good either. So, Brad, let's go with you. Out of the leaderboard, who you think's going to stay and who's going to go?
Wow. Here's one of the key things you got to look at when you're playing a major golf tournament. One of the things you want to focus on is not shooting yourself out of the tournament after the first day. And so you look at some of the top talent in the world, and they've done that. You look at players even as far as Tiger. Even though Tiger shot +1, he's not out of it. Will Jordan again post another number? 4 or 5 under. Who knows? That's going to be tough. But staying kind of in the tournament is what a lot of these top talent has done. Adam Scott, Phil Mickelson, even Rory has stayed right there. So this is still definitely anyone's tournament. But I look at players like Phil, who have been there before, to really be able to take charge and stay playing at a high level versus some of the other guys who maybe haven't been there before, like Russell Henley, like Charlie Hoffman. Some of these players, not that I don't respect their talent. I mean, they're great golfers, but Augusta is another level of difficulty that I think a lot of these guys aren't ready for, especially for a 4-day event of playing at the highest level. I think Phil has an edge over some of those guys, but so does Bubba. A lot of guys who are right there in it. So Jordan obviously come out firing. Good for him. Finished second last year. Top tour talent right now, but there's still a lot of golf to be played. So look at some of these players to at least hang around, stay there through the cut, and then maybe Saturday really try and make a push. There's still a lot of golf to be played, and a lot of the top talent in the nation is hanging around. Even though Jordan posted a great round, they're still in contention just as much as anyone else.
Coach?
Well, first of all, let me put a little shout out to the old guys. Tom Watson, 65, first day, -1. Hey, kudos to Tom Watson. Okay, he is. I tell you, he's probably one of the greatest. With the other gentlemen, Nicholas Palmer, the Black Knight, and all the other ones. He's probably. My thing is, Tom Watson is a great individual. I had, I guess, a slight chance to meet him when they had a senior tournament over at the old Avenel course about 3 years back, and Tom Watson was playing in it. You're just talking, what a gentleman. So I just wanted to throw that out there for Tom Watson. Now, whatever happened today, if you've watched the Masters over the years, sometimes may not happen tomorrow. Some of these scores that these guys are shooting today. Now, what they're saying, today was a pretty good day for scoring. A few holes. There was some windage that was blowing, a couple of problems there. But overall, today was a good day to score low. If you were going to try to get out and jump on top of the other golfers, on today. I think... Spieth going out shooting -8. I believe that, he's got confidence. He goes out tomorrow, and he doesn't have to shoot -8 again. He could probably go half of that or whatever, and still get himself a lead because we don't know what the weather's going to be tomorrow. It's supposed to be a little cooler tomorrow, and that has a lot to do with the Masters. That's plays into a lot of how the course is set up down there. Okay, with the conditions and so forth. But, the other ones, I don't think one you may not have mentioned was Justin Rose. Okay, he's been in this situation before. He hasn't completed it, but he's been, in the running a few times for the Masters. So I like giving Justin a chance. Probably see what he does tomorrow. Keep him around for the weekend. Hope he does. But it's the usuals. It's Mickelson. You got Bubba now. You go to Adam Scott. I mean, they played there. They've been here before. And even believe it or not, Tiger has. He's hasn't been as terrible as people thought he would be today. He's, made some shots, but if you look at it, Tiger has not played over the years the front nine as good as he has come on the back in the past. All right, so you look at the holes, a couple of the other holes, 7, 8. He's had problems on them before. All he has to do is just get back into what his routine was of warming up, and he's +1 now. He could change that tomorrow to getting a couple under. He could get on -2 or -3, but that's we wait until tomorrow morning tee time, see what happens. So the thing is, I like Jordan Spieth to win the whole thing. The last couple of weeks. Jordan has played well. I believe he won the Valero. He came back in a playoff at the Shell Houston Open. If not for the, I think the bad tee shot on the first playoff hole, that might have been a different story down there. And who knows? He might have had 2 wins coming into the Masters. So I just,
Coach.
yeah.
Coach, let me ask you this. Spieth had a huge lead going into the final day of that tournament and ended up losing it. Do you think that possibly plays in his mind if he comes out strong like he's doing at Augusta going into the final day? I mean, we've seen charges. We've seen Charles Schwartzel pull off 4 straight birdies to win himself a Masters. Do you think that possibly could have a hangover effect for Jordan Spieth if he's in contention going into the final days?
Well, if I go back to last year when Bubba and Bubba were in the last group, I believe, and going into the back nine, Jordan kind of faltered a little bit. He bogeyed a couple holes in a row, and then those are the 2 holes that Bubba made birdie and started taking control of the back nine. If he, all you have to do is just remember, what did I do last year? What did I do last week? And on the course at Augusta here, well, whatever I thought or whatever, I can't do. I've got to just forget what's happened. This is Augusta. Okay? You don't compare Augusta to the other courses, even though he was ahead and lost it. If he just plays up to his capability like he has today and a little bit beyond, anything can happen. We have 3 days left.
Coach, I hear you completely, but I'm just saying, do you think there could be some kind of hangover effect? Do you think he is now mentally, this will be his first major? Do you think with him coming down the stretch, he's mentally tough after letting the Shell Houston slip away from him? Do you think he's mentally tough to gut this thing out? I mean, this is a big deal. This is the Masters, probably one of the biggest majors of the year. Do you think he can settle down? And I know it's just the first round, and he shot great. But do you think there could be a lingering hangover effect? Do you think he can gut it up and come down the stretch and make it happen?
Well, can I counteract you real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Last week is it him losing it, or is it just JP Holmes just playing out of his ass?
I mean, you're right.
I mean,
he
that's
still
a
shot
big
2
question.
under the final round. You're absolutely right. But things are going to happen at Augusta where people are going to make charges. And are you gonna say, hey, look, that's nice that you're doing that, but I'm gonna go the extra little bit that I need to silence you. And I hear you, Shipe. That's a great argument because congrats, JB Holmes. Man, did he fire a great final round. But who's to say that any of these other guys aren't going to come roaring at him just like JB Holmes will? And is he going to be able to stomach it and say, hey, look, that's great what you're doing today, but today's my day. I'm going to be the champion today. Do you think that there is no hangover effect with anyone, making a charge at him and him, being able to stomach all that and all the pressure that goes along with winning at Augusta and your first major? Do you think he can handle it all?
You know what? I'm gonna go out and I'll probably go around the corner a little bit. I think he can handle.
Yeah.
Okay. It just I don't know. I always look at the reactions of the players and stuff like I do when I was coaching baseball and football. I want to see what they look like. If they have that determination, and I'm go back to last year. Could he have won it last year? Very possible. Very possible he could have, if he doesn't falter. So we learn by experiences, good or bad. If he still has a little bit, I think he can win it. But then again, there's 3 days left, and I think he has the mentality to come to win it, even if there's other people breathing down his throat. He was in the last group last year. Okay, and I think he has, what it could take to pull this off Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go yes on that because we saw Rory. We all remember the big collapse he had, and he was, 21 at the time, I believe?
Yeah,
He was young at the time, and he came back, and he has 4 majors under his belt, and that all started after that collapse. So Spieth, he was in the final group last year. He had a little collapse. So maybe this is when Spieth's like, okay, I know what I did wrong last time. Let me go win it this time. Though Rory hadn't won the Masters yet, but maybe they could be on the same kind of trend to where one does the other. You don't agree with that, Brad, at all?
No,
Where they could be on the same kind of, almost career path to where, you blew the Masters one year, then Rory hasn't won it yet, but Rory did win a major, though. So maybe this is Spieth's time to where, I've already blew it once. I know what I did wrong. I know what I need to do, and here he goes this year, and he'll win it.
I agree full with you guys. I think Spieth has all the talent in the world to handle this thing, and he's off to the start that everyone on the field wanted. The leader after the first day, it's perfect. This is set up beautiful for him. But there's still a lot of golf to be played. Even if this was Tiger and he had the lead right now, I would still just say, hey, look, there's a lot of golf to be played. And I know a Tiger has won a lot, and he's ran away from the field. I know that was many years ago, but despite that fact, you still have to wonder, can they gut this whole thing out the whole time? Because we've seen in PGA tournaments the past several years that like the 54-hole leader in just average tournaments, I say that with very, very light feelings. I mean, this PGA Tour, it's very competitive, but even on a smaller stage, the 54-hole leader a lot of the times doesn't win. And like I said, this is just the first round. And if Spieth goes out and shoots a 75 tomorrow, I hope he doesn't. But, that puts him back down the field, and chances are someone has the lead over top of him. But we've seen Jim Furyk collapse coming down the stretch when it comes to some majors. It hasn't gone in favor of the 54-hole leader a lot on the PGA Tour. And I'm just asking you guys, do you think he can break that trend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think he will. But he's not my pick to win, but if he wins, but I think he can break the trend if he plays how he should play. I actually have a different winner who I think will win, but if Spieth's playing like this through 54 holes, I think he won't lose the lead at all. I think he's good enough. I think he's got 2 wins He has wins under his belt this year. He lost it last week. I think he's like, look, I know what I did wrong last week. Let me get out the way. The only thing I'm worried about him this week is that the shot that he had on 18 last week is carried over a little bit this week so far. He's had a couple little, tee shots have gone right or left. But if he can get that, if he gets his driver straight now after 54 holes and he's fine, he's hitting them straight, there should be no one that can beat him. But it all comes down to him. But I think he's the one where if he's leading after 54 holes, he's going to win it. There's no reason he shouldn't.
Okay. I mean, I just hear you guys saying, if he does this. Well, sure, if someone shoots 60s for the rest of the tournament, they're going to win.
Then yes, your answer is yes. Yes, he is going to have the mentality where if he's leaving for 54 holes, he is going to win.
That's what I want you to do. I want you to jump off the fence and say, if he is the 54-hole
he's
leader,
going to win. I'm telling you, he's going to win. If he has to leave 54 holes, he's going to win. Is that what you want?
That is exactly what I want. Thank you.
Basically, it gets down to this. If I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to have a good day. So if he stays like he does, I think he's going to be okay. All right? Because look at his swing today, and you heard the commentators say his swing he's got a fluid motion on the swing. Didn't see any yips in it, except you get to 16 where he hits his second shot past the green, over the green. I think it was 16. Is it 16 or 15 to par 5?
Par 5, 15. He went
15.
long.
He went long, came back. Okay, there's his bogey on that round. But he plays it again tomorrow. I don't think he'll go over tomorrow. That may be a birdie tomorrow.
No,
Very possibly.
I agree fully with you. I agree. I'm just basing this off of what we've seen the trends on the PGA Tour is that even some of the top talent, you talk about Rory, and I know he was young at Augusta the year he collapsed, but there's been top talent that has given it away going into the fourth round.
Right.
And I'm just wondering if you guys if Spieth has the lead going into the fourth round, does he win?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe.
He's still not my pick though.
Coach, come on! I want you guys to make a judgment call here. Come on. What do you think, Coach?
Wait,
sure, if he's playing lights out, of course. But lots of stuff could happen. What do you think, Coach? If he has a 54-hole lead, whether it's one shot, whether it's
What do you think?
Okay, that's a great question.
What do you think? Put
I
all the
think he
stuff
get-
on us. What do you think, Mr. Not in the studio?
I think he gives it up. I'm
You
sorry.
think he
As
gives
much
it
as
up?
I love Jordan Spieth, this is a very, very big stage, and we've seen on the PGA Tour that there is just so much talent. And I think someone comes up. We've seen it many, many years at Augusta, whether it's Angel Cabrera to come in and get into a playoff or Charles Schwartzel to win it straight out. We've seen players rise up on the final day and scare the leader and them tighten up and completely collapse and play out of the ordinary, even though they've looked so solid the days before. I honestly think Spieth is just too young. And I don't think he's ever really had like the lead or the pressure on him going into the last 9 holes of a major golf tournament on the biggest stage. I think he gives it up. I really do. And I can't tell you who it's going to be, but I think if he has the 54-hole lead, as much as I love Jordan and I want him to be successful, and I know he's going to have an outstanding career because he's so competitive and such a talent, I think at this moment, I think someone rises up and gets him. So I think with the 54-hole lead, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he gives it up. I hate to say that, but I
hope
think
Patrick
they'll
Reed
falter.
misses the cut.
I have it duly noted. I mean, it's everybody has their opinion.
It's in the
No,
books.
and I mean that my opinion is I believe Jordan Spieth will win the Masters this year. Okay.
Now, if
Yeah.
he doesn't have the 54-hole lead, this whole discussion changes completely now.
Completely, but you guys were talking about, if he keeps playing like this, I'm like, if.
You want to
Yeah,
know who
let-
my pick is? You really want to know if it's not Speed after 54 days?
It's
You want to know who it
Garcia.
is? Of course it's Garcia. You know how
I know.
You see the chip in he had today? That was so
Of course,
nice.
I knew it'd be Garcia. Of course, I already
First of all,
knew.
I don't know why. I like Garcia this year. I feel like this is the year where he's finally going to win a major. He's due. He is the best golfer without a major, in my opinion, right now.
There is no doubt about that.
He's-
Garcia
his
has
game-
won this tournament, it finishes top in a lot of majors. No, I agree with you, Shipe.
I think he gets over the hump this year, and it could be the Masters. I mean, he's 4 under. Normally, he struggles, I think, with the Masters, I think, sometimes. His putter. No, his problem used to be his putter, and now he's putting lights out. He's
His
chipping
problem
lights
now
out.
is that he takes 9s on some hole, some round in golf tournaments.
Stop
He
jinxing it.
cards like a 9, and he ends up losing by 3. And it's like, dude, if you could have mustered up a 6, or if you could have mustered up a dang 5, you'd be winning these majors. But somehow he finds ways to find just one blow-up hole.
Or he goes in the water or some stupid like that. He'll hit the water like 3 times.
That's a blow-up hole.
I think it was,
That's the
2
players. That's when he
players
got
where he went in twice, wasn't it?
Tiger, yes.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
But
well,
the players is a big tournament. It's not a major, and he's played great down. The
he's
stretch
won
of
the
majors.
players. He's won. It's the
has
5th
won the
major,
players.
as they call it.
Mhm.
I talked to you earlier this year. I thought Rory was going to get not the complete Grand Slam, but the whole all titles. But that's looking less likely now.
He's in fine shape. If he cards a 5 under tomorrow, he'll be sitting at 6 under for the tournament. And
He just hasn't transitioned real good since coming back to America yet. I guess he's still trying to get adjusted to everything because it's a completely different game from what he was doing earlier in the year in Europe. and in Dubai. I mean, everyone's watched and saw that he's struggling so early this year, and maybe he'll learn that he shouldn't start playing Dubai. He should come over here earlier than what he did.
Maybe I feel like he hasn't really come out firing last year, and he won himself a couple majors.
He did.
So
maybe he saw J.J. Watts with his Ets.
whatever the case may be, I still think Rory has a chance. None of these guys have shot themselves out of the tournament. We're almost giving Spieth the crown, but possibly a little too early. Not that he hasn't earned himself the top spot after the first 18 holes. He absolutely has. He's played fantastic.
I mean, how we gave the Nationals a crown way too early.
Well, okay.
All right, sorry, get off. I'm a little bitter after this first week of the season, but go ahead, keep going.
But you look at players like Webb Simpson, who are extremely solid players, who keep the ball in play, who are great putters, and guys like Garcia, who are just a couple shots back, who know how to handle some of this pressure in terms of giving themselves a chance to win coming down the stretch. And you look at guys like Phil, who are sitting at 2, who just need to post maybe a solid number to get them in contention. It's only been the first day, and if we were doing a show every single day, we could refresh this and talk about this every day. But I think a lot of guys like Dustin Johnson, who have some length, can take advantage of this course, who like to play a draw. This is a right to left course. Golfers, paradise. And Mickelson, who can play a nice soft cut. Bubba, who plays a nice soft cut, can really take advantage of this course.
Would you take advantage of this court? Do you play a cut?
I play whatever at any minute, Shipe, and that's probably the biggest problem of my golf game. But even guys like Horschel, who are very aggressive, who can fire out a lot of birdies at once, are 6 shots off the lead, and I know that seems like a lot back, but it's only the first day, and so look for these guys to, they just were trying to position themselves possibly in the first day. Look for them to maybe come out firing tomorrow. Maybe Jordan Spieth went firing today. Maybe tomorrow he's going to tone it back and say, hey, look, I'm just going to try and post 1 or 2 under and just be in good shape. Look for the guys tomorrow to be like, hey, look, okay, now I'm going to come out firing. And now it's my turn to throw it at the stick, see what kind of putts I can get to drop. This is still anyone's tournament, and there's still a lot of top golf to be played, top competition who are in contention. So, I think there's still a lot of stuff. In my opinion, I think Mickelson is just playing too well, and he knows what to do. He's won this 3 times. He knows what to do. And if it's him and Spieth in the final group, I know we're picking on Jordan a little bit. I know he's young, and I feel bad for putting so much pressure on him, but I think Phil takes him down. I think
Nope.
Phil has.
No, not at all. I don't think so at all. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't. Sorry.
I'm putting it in the books.
You put it in the books. If Spieth wins and he has a 54-hole lead, I want an apology from you next Thursday. If Spieth's leading after 54 holes and he wins, I want a damn apology from you on air next week.
Well, I don't
You'll
think.
get it.
Well,
You'll get
Brad, are you saying that he's not going to win it, or is it you just say you're just?
Who's your pick?
It just sounds. It just sounds like it's.
Hold on.
It's not. He might not win it. Is it what you're saying, or are you saying he's not going to?
I'm not saying he's not going to. I'm saying if he has the 54-hole lead, he won't. That is the definitive thing I will say. I think with the 54-hole lead, I think that's a curse right now. And I think if he has the 54-hole lead after 3 days, I think someone steals it from him. And he could be playing extremely solid, and we've seen that on the PGA Tour. We've seen it a million times where guys are playing lights out, and you're like, they're going to close this out. There's no doubt about it. And they just find ways, or someone else like J.B. Holmes finds a way to card some miraculous round. It just seems to be more detrimental to have the 54-hole lead than to be chasing the guy who does have it. Mm-hmm. And so I just fear for Jordan, if he has that 54 lead, it's going to take some kind of, miraculous round and mental toughness to dig it out, because we've just seen too many times recently on the PGA Tour that the players with that lead falter. And I think Jordan has the capability to do it, but I don't see it happening.
All right, so I'm gonna get to it right now. Who's your pick to win it?
Mickelson.
You're picking Mickelson.
Yep, I think Phil comes out strong tomorrow, puts himself in contention. He'll definitely make the cut, and then over the weekend, he just finds ways to get up and down. Get tough up and downs to pull this thing out. I think Phil is playing well enough. He knows how to win there. Bones knows exactly what to do. They'll get a feel for the course, and they'll give themselves a chance to win this. And I'm taking Phil.
Why didn't you take him in your fantasy then?
Because I just didn't want to.
Are you saving him?
I'm saving them for another tournament for the British.
Are you writing this for the British?
Yeah, the British Open. He won it. You know that?
Yeah, whatever you say. Paul, are you writing all this stuff down about what we're picking?
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
Brad
he's
down
got
for
it.
Phil. Matt,
So you
Matt
both are
down.
taking speed.
Well, hey! I said Spieth. If we were chasing after the 54-hole lead,
I hear he's backing up a little bit.
Who's your pick?
I want Garcia to win. But like I said, if Spieth is winning after 54 hole, he's gonna win.
So put it down. Who's winning?
So
As of right now, who I think's gonna win?
Yeah.
Not we're excluding that whole 54 hole thing, right?
Yes, let's say this is Wednesday. No one has even hit a golf shot yet.
I was gonna take Garcia then, all the way.
All right, Garcia.
yeah, I had Spieth on my list last week. It's not just because of today. I had I had him last week.
You said it. You said it last week.
But if we put Spieth and Garcia together on Sunday,
They'll both
then
falter.
whoever's in the second to the last group has a hell of a shot.
You know what? Whatever. Now, if Spieth's in second place, will he have the advantage then? What if Spieth is one stroke down? Will your opinion change?
Yes.
They'll do a complete 180.
But here's the thing. This is a little bit unfair. If one person has a one-shot lead, that's not really giving it away.
No.
What we've seen is that the person with a 54 comfortable lead has given it away. And right now, Jordan Spieth has a comfortable lead. Do I think he'll have that lead tomorrow, a 3-shot lead? I mean, it's tough to pull off at Augusta. It's hard to say exactly what he's going to do tomorrow. I would think that someone is going to tighten him up a little bit. If he has a 2-shot lead going into the weekend, that would still be very solid. But if he has a 1-shot lead, that just plays more into my card of the 54-hole leader isn't going to win this. But what we've seen mainly, what I'm referencing is guys who are running away with it.
Right.
Guys who have a massive lead, who somehow find ways to shoot like a 73 or a 74. Even if it's 1 or 2 over, someone is making a charge. And this is a deep tournament. This is the Masters. It's the top talent in the world. You must be crazy if you think these guys aren't going to come gunning for you on Sunday if you have that 54-hole lead. They are going to come after you with everything they have. And guys like Mickelson don't have an off switch. They have 100%, 110%, and they go for every single shot that they possibly can. And sometimes it works. Look at Phil, that shot from the trees on 13. Sometimes it works.
Right.
So look for these guys to come firing at him.
You want to know what's going to piss me off about tomorrow about Jordan Spieth? I'm not going to be able to watch him because
We're here.
I can yell because of fucking ESPN and their goddamn broadcast. He goes off early in the morning. Am I going to get to watch him? No, because they want to start their broadcast at 3 in the afternoon. That's what pisses me off this week is I can't watch people because of stupid ESPN and their contract. I don't want to watch SportsCenter or ESPN First Take. I want to watch the Masters. Golf Channel, they don't even have coverage. It's stupid
How is that? How
because of contract.
you can't watch it anywhere?
I can watch Amen's Corner, but I want to watch everyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to
you-
watch
you
Tiger
can
Woods. I wanna
Turn
watch
it to the
everyone.
Masters, and they'll have, was it 11, 12, and 13? You watch groups go through Amen Corner.
That's it. I don't want that. I want everything. I want to know what the British Open does. British Open comes on TNT every day, and the British Open obviously is in Europe.
Yeah.
England, of course, British. If all you fans, if you don't understand that, I don't know what to say to you. But their rounds start here. The first group goes off at 4 a.m. They start their coverage for that tournament at 4 a.m. You can watch everyone play. They're the only tournament that does that. Every tournament should be like that. The Ryder Cup does that. The Ryder Cup started their crap at like noon. It would be stupid because you would miss like half the matches. I don't know why the Masters is the biggest golf tournament. Why can't you cover it 24? Well, not 24/7, but from 7 a.m. to the final group. I think they finished at like 7 p.m. at night. Why can't I have that? That's all I want. What's so simple about that? There's nothing wrong with that.
I got an idea, Shipe. Why don't you get some tickets to the Augusta and go down there with your cell phone and live feed it to the Shipe Sports Talk show?
Yeah, and then I will be kicked off that course so quick, and I will be in jail. And the first person I call to bail me out for copyright will be you. And you do realize the wait list for that tournament is probably like 5 years, right?
No, I understand that fully. Yes, it is frustrating that we're not able to see, kind of the full footage of.
Oh, I'm not frustrated. I'm not. I'm calm. I'm calm.
He's happy.
Oh, well, Guillermo said he pits. Of course, he pits two because that's what Guillermo always does. You have to pick one, Junior. He picked Henley or Jordan if they don't hit the shit. Guillermo, you have to pick one, either Jordan or Henley. Write it in the chat, and then we'll put it on the air.
Of course, if no more fence talk, say something.
Yeah,
Guillermo, you have to
Pick a
pick
pick.
one.
I'll put it in the pick book. This is now called the pick book.
That's our pick book.
Yeah,
Make some little wagers there, $5 wagers.
sure.
We can
Tell
do
me
that.
what's going to happen, Guillermo, because you know more than us. Don't say, well, if they keep playing like this.
He said they
Tell
don't
me
hit the shit.
exactly what's going to happen?
I put in pick one. I'm waiting for him. He probably turned off his computer once we called him out.
Well, there's like a little bit of a delay, so
I don't know.
What's the weather actually going to be like there the next 3 days? I know it's going to get cooler.
Possibly supposed to get, I think, precipitation tomorrow, but I think the weekend's supposed to be all right.
Nice and back up for the weekend.
Yeah, let me check see what the forecast is.
while he's checking, what's an IP?
An IP? What do you mean an IP?
Is that what you called it?
I didn't say
Mm.
IP.
No, someone said. I think Coach said it that they're teeing off and they didn't find any ips or imps or ifs.
Yips.
A
Yips.
giddy, it's like a giddy up in your swing.
Oh, okay. What is it
You know,
called?
you're-
It's a yip.
Here I have the weather right here.
It's called a yip. Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
it's called the yips.
Okay.
Remember they talked about it most of the day with Tiger. His yips were in his wedge game.
We have
Oh, okay.
Friday 88 with a chance of rain in the afternoon.
Oh,
Or at night. At night, it'll wet the course overnight. 82 on Saturday, 80 on Sunday. And
Okay.
then
Well, the Friday night will help slow the greens down a little bit for Saturday.
think
What
with the
makes it
rain.
Scoring. That's how people make charges. That's exactly it. Saturday
Or
is
the
built for charges.
the
That's-
ones that are there use it to their advantage too to
could
stay
this,
there.
Could this not be perfect weather? Because on Monday it's 81 with 90% chance of rain. So is that not just perfect that after everything's over with, it just downpours?
Yeah. So Guillermo picks Jordan. You bastards, is what he says.
All right, he picked Jordan Spieth. You bastards. You're a bastard for not being here.
Good call after him going 8 under today.
Yeah. What was your pick before he went 8 under, Junior?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Before that, what were you thinking, Tiger Woods, Guillermo?
I know he's over there just listening, just so pissed off because he's down here defending himself. Because he just wants to type all this stuff and just.
Are
it's
you at
just
work?
going-
Is he at work?
He's probably just getting home, probably like a little bit ago.
Oh, okay.
He just wouldn't be able to make it in the show on time.
I see.
But Paul, let me explain it to you. The yips is like when you have, like Coach said, like a hiccup in your swing or like something unnatural that kind of causes like a jerky motion in your swing, and it makes you hit bad shots. So the yips is not good. Like
Okay.
you don't yips. It's nerves that cause you to get like hiccupy in your swing and jerky in your swing,
Okay.
and it causes you to falter. Like if you get the yips, chances are you are going to start hitting some really funky shots.
I had the yips once in high school. I was we were playing Rattlewood, and it was one of our high school tournaments. And I was like 1 over going through 8 holes. It was like the best round I've ever done in high school. I got the yips, of course, on number 9 and shot a double par, which is 5 over. So I went from one over to 5 over 1 hole. I got the yips. And that par 5 is so easy. What happened was, the little houses, Brad, they're on the right-hand side of the fairway?
I don't.
On
do those come
Rattlewood.
into play?
Rattlewood, number 9. No, they're not supposed to.
Okay.
So you can stop that. So I hit one over there, and I went to go play it on the dude's yard. Dude came running out the house. You
Can't do
can't
it.
play
You're
on
out of
my
bounds.
yard.
That's out of bounds. You can't hit that. You have to
Yeah,
go
he-
re-tee.
Well, now I know what to blame all my rounds
Don't
on.
let my
if-
secret
if you-
out.
If you listen to a couple of announcers today, they were talking about Tiger. There was a couple tee shots where they were explaining that if Tiger's head stays up level, his tee shots that's where he wants to be. There was a couple times when one of the announcers says, "Now watch, his head will lower," and then when they're in the replay, they go, "That's what he wants to stay away from," because they say unlevels or takes your eyes off from being level. If you dip your head a little bit, then you're not keeping your balance there. And there were a couple holes on his tee shots that, I don't know which announcer it was, said that, here's his little yip or his little giddy up because the head was lower at that point than it had been for the previous tee shots.
Okay.
Guillermo said his Jason Day was his sleeper pick.
It's not a bad sleeper pick.
That's not a bad pick at all. Jason Day has a good showing at Augusta every year. That's a solid pick. I mean,
He said his the yips is Charles Barkley swing.
well,
A
that's-
jerky swing like Charles Barkley. That's funny.
I'll show you a video of after we're done of Charles Barkley swing. It'll make you you'll look like everyone will look like a superstar of Charles Barkley. This dude was in a charity tournament once and thought it'd be a good idea to hit one-handed off the tee. That didn't work out so well, especially with fans on the fairways.
Did he let the club go?
No, he almost killed a couple fans.
Jeez.
And those golf balls hurt. I've been hit twice. Once by coach and once by some random guy.
I hit somebody before.
I got hit in my ass. I had a nice little welt on my ass.
I hit.
You see a photo of that shot?
Huh?
I said, do you have any photos of that?
Yeah, here you go.
Oh no.
Well, the one that my coach hit me with, I decided to go ahead of him because I trusted him. They did a good swing. I mean, he's he did it normal. Sometimes you get the yips right in the back of my calf. If I had turned around, my shins probably would have been shattered.
Ouch. I hit Roy.
Brad just looks like it's just painful to listen to.
Oh, was that when we were playing up at Carroll Valley? Caught you behind?
No, this was in Myrtle Beach.
Oh,
We were playing like 2 man. No.
that was in Ocean City.
Ocean
You were in
City.
the way.
Yeah, well,
You're in the
hit
way. What are you
ball better.
walking to the right knowing I hit over there for? He's coming out of the bushes.
That's how hard it hit. It hit so hard that it hit the back of my calf, shot 50 yards to the right and out of bounds. He would have been on the green, but said he ended out of bounds instead.
That probably left a welt.
Oh, it hurt. I ran around on that course.
Yeah,
for
did-
I ran the rest of the day.
Didn't do much for my score on that hole either.
Yo, that's a free drop, coach, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did drop.
That's interference.
To anyone out there who honestly will think that golf is a boring game, there's nothing to do. It's probably it's the only sport where you can have fun with your friends, joke around, do whatever you want. The only sport where you could drink and still function properly while you're playing. Brad will agree with that.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are.
Yeah.
But
As
it's
long
the-
as you're
it's-
not keeping score.
It's the only sport where you could legally drink and not get in trouble by any official or anything.
If you're John Daly or Michelob Maltby, then yeah, no, you can drink and start shooting 60s like it's nothing.
And have John Gruden as your caddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went in a tournament. There was a rain delay, and he came back out, and John Gruden was his caddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just came. I think it was like the Hooters Open or something.
That's awesome. Oh
But yeah,
my God.
anyone, I do recommend people to try golf. It's a fun sport. It's a good way to relax. Just don't take it too seriously, or it will make you even more stressful than what your life probably already is. Brad's seen me out there going a little some pissed off mode sometimes.
Well, I think everyone's dealt with the
Yes.
the ups and downs that go along with golf. No matter what level you're on, you have certain expectations, and if you don't reach those expectations, it can become quite frustrating.
And it's funny because it's like you'll be the one who gets pissed off. You'll throw your clubs, and you see someone else do it. You can't help but just laugh because you're like, yeah, I know that feeling. Like Tiger. I mean, like you saw him today. He called himself a dumbass. He curses. He throws clubs. I mean, even the tour players do it. I mean, a couple weeks ago, McElroy hit a bad shot, threw his 3-iron straight in the water. Donald Trump went out and got it for him.
Did he really?
It was at Trump's
Yeah.
course. He sent his personal scuba diver to give it, and Trump handed it to him personally. With his,
Yeah, they put it
So
in
I'm-
the clubhouse, didn't they?
no, they gave it to him on the driving range.
Driving range.
But I mean, even the professional golfers, they'll curse, they'll throw shit. I mean, it's not just normal people like us. I mean, they do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I mean,
Well,
if you don't hit your expectations, like I said, I mean the pros have a very high expectation, but everyone has their own personal goals and expectations of themselves on the golf course. And if you don't reach that level, for whatever reason, whether it's the putter, whether it's an iron shot you hit, a wedge shot you hit, or a driver you hit, if you're a little frustrated, you might toss the club, let out a couple swears.
Don't do it in high school because I tossed my club in high school and got suspended for a match.
Really?
Yeah, I was on the. For some reason, Brad, you know Worthington Manor.
Oh, that's a tough track.
I can't shoot that on that. I can't shoot on that. Anytime I play that course, I'm guaranteed over 100. I have never been able to shoot well. Even now, I'll probably still shoot over 100. And I was from the final hole, and I had it was like number 9. It was all this shit in front of the green, and I chipped it right in. piss off myself through the club, not thinking everyone's on the hill watching from number 9. I walk up and coach is like, we have a match on Friday, right? Yeah. You ain't playing in it. He's like, you can go back to practice the following week.
Oh, man.
And then I had some player from Quince Orchard want to give me a stroke because I said damn after a shot.
Oh, that's
So,
Well, the Rockville coach told him to mind his own business.
So as you can hear, it may not be a fun afternoon playing with Matt because of the vulgarity and the stuff like that.
it's a risk.
Yeah, it is a risk. Risk and reward.
Brad has played with me. I've never been bad.
Yeah, of course not.
But seriously, one gentleman I was playing with a couple years back said that golf to an amateur is a sport that you love. You play it a lot. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. It's going to come up and bite you at some point in time. And it forces you. It's a sport that forces you to come back out and try to beat it the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it fun.
It's frustrating because you can go out on like the front 9 like us and shoot like a first 9 over. And then we can end up shooting like an even or 1 over on the back, just have a great back 9. You just think to yourself, where the hell is this on the front? I think Kneewood one day I shot 9 over on the front and I shot even on the back. And I'm like, shit, I could have shot in the 70s, but of course I screw up on the front 9.
Golf's tricky like that. You gotta limit your mistakes, and it takes a lot of practice and a lot of time and confidence to really be able to pull yourself together and lower your scores.
So Guillermo said on the chat room, he said, I average 65 per round. I know I can shoot 60. And I wrote back on 9 holes, correct?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you gonna play the back 9 or not?
That's just on the chipping green.
That's putt-putt.
Yeah.
I can't play putt-putt for shit. Can't play putt. Brad, how are you in putt-putt?
I just try and bank it off whatever I can. I can get kind of creative with putt-putt. I mean, it's not necessarily like regular putting. You kind of just hit it and hope and try and have some fun with it. So,
right.
Putt-putt's all good fun.
I tell you what, if you really want to know what golf isn't like on the course, or actually, you know what describes a good country club? Go watch Caddyshack. That's how we would play. So you'll see some wagers out there. People will do some crazy shit on the golf course. Go watch Caddyshack. Mm-hmm. Except I've never met anyone with a beer little dispenser on their golf bag or a stereo. I still have yet to see that.
I have a friend who has the shaft. You can pour liquor into it, and then the whole shaft. It's like a fake club, and you can pour liquor all the way into it, and you can just kind of turn it over.
Brad, why have we not found this yet?
I've been trying to find one on eBay, Shipe, and I can't get the right price on it.
How much are they going for?
I'm just joking.
Oh. Who has it?
It was one of Ray's friends, I think.
You gotta ask Ray where they got it from.
Yeah.
I want that.
Mm-hmm. And I
What?
I think it might even had like a pump or something like that on the top, so you could just like.
That's perfect for a bachelor party.
Yeah. Anyway. But I find but the thing is that when you're not like, I know for me, if I go to like a fancy golf club or whatever it is,
Country club
or whatever, it's very intimidating to play. Like you feel like you have to, you just can't let loose and play like you would maybe like at some of these smaller local like Needwood or something like
play
that.
Play how you want to play.
Yeah.
Just look nice for the first 2 holes, and then once you're out of the range of the clubhouse, go ape shit.
You gotta
look.
look.
Brad knows what I'm talking about. Just look nice in front of the clubhouse, and once you're out of there, do whatever the hell you want.
So what's that, like 1 and 9? No.
1, 9,
and 10.
18. 1, 9, 10, and 18.
Yeah.
The rest of it, go ape crazy.
But yeah, it's super intimidating.
What, you're laughing. Do you agree, Brad?
Well, I mean, I try and adhere to most golf etiquette that I can. It kind of just depends on who's around, and it's all very situational. You want to be fair to other golfers who are there on the course, and you want to respect the course as best you can. So it's all very situational, and it all depends. But my friends and I, we like having a good time.
Brad likes to play music while we're playing.
Sometimes, we're very outgoing on the golf course, like having a little music playing and just kind of, relaxing away to just kind of get outside, enjoy the weather, play 18 holes of golf, maybe listen to a little music and enjoy a couple beverages.
Just don't blare it like Roger Dangerfield. Don't blare it like that.
But it's all just very situational. But always respect others out there on the golf course and respect the golf course. Take care of the golf course. So so like I said, it's all very situational.
There's been some times where we've played some places in the Marshalls. Is that what you call them?
Yeah,
The Marshalls.
some of
Yeah.
them can be assholes.
Yeah. I mean, there's that's
Blue
what I'm saying.
Mash, they're assholes.
There's been sometimes when they're just kind of like downright rude and like, you guys are slow. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, in the past, I mean, now I'm a little bit better now to where we usually keep the time pretty well. But I mean, in the past, they've just been like,
By the way, to all those people out there who on par fours are on the green, and I hit a very good shot and somehow end up on the green, and you want to take my ball or throw it somewhere, F you. Because you know what? You should say congratulations on a good shot. Not many people can reach a green on a par four. And if you want to penalize me and throw my ball somewhere, I hate you.
why would they do that?
Because they're assholes. They think, oh, well, you shouldn't hit us on the green. I'm sorry I had a good shot and I got it on the green. It's not my fault I got a hold of one. Come on, Brad, come on. You have to agree with that. Come on. I mean, like, sometimes you just get a hold of one. You can't control if you're on the green and one.
I've never had a hole in one, so I don't.
Not a
know.
hole in one. I said on the green and one on a par four.
Oh, got a hold of one. Gotcha.
A hold of one. Yeah, no, I've.
Like, will you get pissed off if you're on the par four on a green and someone reached it and won? I mean, I wouldn't get pissed. I'd tell them good job.
Well, see, but there's different mentalities that go into some different golfers. For some golfers, they respect what it took to pull that shot off, and other golfers feel disrespected. It's I wish there was like a strict guidelines for your attitude on the golf course and and for how you react to things, but there really isn't, and so it kind of just depends on that person's personality, how bad they've been playing that day. It's just put on a smile, people. You're out there playing golf. Put on a smile, and for the most part, your life really isn't at risk. So for me, I would rather applaud that person for that shot than feel threatened.
I've literally watched someone. I made the par four and one. I've literally watched someone. I saw where my ball landed. I'm looking at them. They've literally hit my ball back, and I'm like, "Are you effing kidding me?" I'm like, "Come on."
I have seen stuff like that happen.
Or they buried it on the ground or run their golf cart over it.
Possibly, but this all just ties back into being respectful to people, people as well on the course. If it's if you're hitting a shot where you can definitely reach the green, then
The number one in Laytonsville.
yeah, number one Laytonsville is touchable. Also, for those of you who don't know, it's a par four that if you hit a decent shot, it is touchable.
Now, number 9 is one where if they're on the green, you can hit it. And sometimes you get a hole on number 9 since it's downhill, it can roll up on the green. I mean, you have to hit a very good launch shot. But number 9 in Laytonsville is one where you don't think you're going to reach it, but if you get a hold of one, it can roll right on.
Sure, you're not going to harm anyone on number 9 because it's hard to fly it 300 plus yards. But
Some people still don't like if it rolls
For
on.
some people.
and I get that. And those are the people where you just you say, okay, that's your attitude and your feeling toward it. I'm gonna choose to be the better person and whatever the case may be.
I
But
think the best hole example to where if you hit someone by accident is probably the hole at Kneewood, where it's a straight dog leg right. You can't see over the trees because you don't know if they're still on the green or not. If you get a hole in one, you can actually put it on that green. And you go down there and they start yelling. It's like, well, I can't see around the turn. How am I supposed to know I'm going to hit it over? I think that's one hole where you can make an example out of it, where you don't know for sure if someone's on or not.
sure, you're talking about 13.
Yeah, where it's like a straight downhill and does a straight dog leg right to where if you can knock it over that tree or hit a good, fade or draw, it's going to get on that green.
See, I think that's where more likely people would be more understanding for.
Not some people in this area.
Well, sure, but like number 1 at Laytonsville, you can blatantly see there's people standing on the green, and you're assuming the risk of hitting that tee shot. Whether or not it is a great shot, don't get me wrong. You want to try and speed up play, and the odds of hitting a par 4 and 1 are extremely slim. But if you think you have the possibility of possibly harming someone or offending someone, you should err on the safety side and make sure that you don't start conflict, I guess.
Yeah. So I think that's all the time we have for today. We got some golf talk in. Like I said, people, if you don't like it, you've never tried it, go to a driving range, do something, just try it. It's a fun sport to play. I started a little bit later, around 13, 14. I wish I started earlier. My dad's always playing. My dad's one of the ones who believe got anger issues where he threw his entire bag in a creek. No, don't even lie. I can get someone on for that.
Oh yeah, that was down in Sligo.
Yeah.
Well, it was cold. It was 30 degrees that day, and I just thought that the lake was frozen over. Evidently, it wasn't.
And the bag broke through apparently.
But yeah, but golf is also a fun time where you can actually, you can hang out with the guys. You hang out like I hang out with my fiance on the golf course. I got her to play, and it's fun to do. If your significant other, if they enjoy it, great place to have fun. You can play different kind of games on the golf course. There's a whole bunch of games you can play while playing. There's drinking games you can even play if that's your cup of tea. But next week on the show, we're gonna go over before I talk about next week, I'm gonna let Paul do his special at the end of every show before I get going. So Paul, go ahead before I forget.
Oh, right on. So www.shipesportstalk.com. You can't mess me up anymore. It's down. It's ingrained in my brain. What was I saying? Just kidding. Check out the website. You can pick up all the podcast episodes there. Links to Stitcher and iTunes. Give us a rating and some comments. That would help out tremendously. Next week's show's going to be at 7 o'clock again, right? Yes. Let's see. What else? Email shipesportstalk@gmail.com. Send us your questions, comments.
Facebook, Twitter.
And Facebook, right? On the Facebooks and the Twitters, that's Shipe Sports Talk. So at Shipe Sports Talk and Facebook /Shipe Sports Talk. Give us posts on Facebook posts, and we'll make sure that we address them live on air.
Instagram.
And
I have an Instagram.
You
Shipe
do?
Sports Talk.
Instagram Shipe Sports Talks for all the pictures that you don't ever see.
Also, I want everyone to take a moment to please listen to Crazy Talk. It's my uncle's podcast with him and his crazy buddies. That's Crazy Talk with a K. So give that a listen to it, please, on Stitcher and iTunes.
Right on.
All those old guys will greatly appreciate it. There's 3 old guys and 1 really old guy on that show. So please listen to that. So for next week, we'll obviously go over the whole Masters tournament. We'll see if Brad will be apologizing to me next week, so stay tuned for that. We'll also go over the MLB season. We didn't get to that tonight, but we got so up to it golf, we can't really get away from him. It's the Masters. I mean, come on, people's Masters week. So we'll go over the MLB season. Hopefully the Nationals have turned things around by then. We'll start talking NBA and NHL playoffs. I think Paul has a couple friends. Maybe we can get on the show to talk some NHL.
Yes.
Maybe talk to them, because
yes.
I know I'm gonna admit I'm a little rusty on NHL. I know Alexander Ovechkin and Backstrom, and that's it. Holtby maybe. Oh, you know what? I'll go ahead and make that little thing. Holtby, the goaltender for the Capitals, they played the Bruins 3 times this year. Beat the Bruins 3 times. He didn't allow a single goal against that team all year. 82 saves.
Yeah.
That's hard. 82 saves, no goals allowed against one team. So congrats to him. And also last night was a very rare occasion. The last time this happened was in April of 2013. All 3 DC area teams won. The Capitals, the Wizards, and the Nationals all won in one single night last night, I'm sorry. So first time it's happened since April 2013.
All right.
So hopefully that happens more often. I know everyone else here will love it. So for myself, Matthew Shipe, for Brad, for Paul, for the coach, thank you for listening, everyone. Please tune in next week, and you can find us, like Paul said, on Stitchers and iTunes. So give us a listen and rate. So have a good night, everyone. Enjoy your weekend, and enjoy the Masters.